All right, thank you for tuning in to the new SEC podcast. I'm Randall Audette Jr. We got Hunter Ziesman here. We're talking UTSA taking on Texas A&M, number 19 Texas A&M. The Aggies, the spread in this game is 24.5, and the over-under is 52.5. What do we think here in this game, in this Texas battle for week one?
Yeah, the lines moved a little bit, money coming in on A&M, and I think for great reason. There's a specific matchup in this game, and it is Texas A&M's offense against UTSA's defense, and it's a mismatch that is going to make this game unwinnable for UTSA. The offense at A&M drastically improved from what was already really, really solid last year. UTSA replacing their entire defense. It's not a recipe for a good showing for UTSA.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest glaring mismatch, right? UTSA is only bringing back 3 defensive players from last year's offense or last year's defense and 1 defensive starter in their safety, Jeremiah Lewis at safety, and they had John Jones, who played last year at left defensive end. But this running attack is going to have its way with UTSA, and it's going to be tough for UTSA to overpower what this offense for A&M's doing against their defense.
Yeah, I mean the A&M defense has potentially taken some knocks. They had some replacements. I'm not worried about UTSA taking advantage of any of it. When you're comparing quarterbacks here, I mean, McCown, a little bit average at quarterback in a game like this. I don't think he's going to be lights out. I don't think it'll be poor. Robert Henry Jr. will be okay at running back. They'll move the ball a little bit, enough to maybe score a few times. I'm not trusting them to do enough consistently in a game like this, where A&M offensively, I think, is going to make a statement.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Like, if this was a in-conference game for UTSA, like I'd have them or I'd favor them, right? It's this Owen McCown's not a bad quarterback. You know, Luke McCown's son, if I'm not mistaken, or Josh McCown's son, if I'm not mistaken. 3,400 yards last season. He finished second in TDs in the conference, behind Chandler Morris, which is crazy. Like, this guy's still in college playing football. And Robert Henry and Brandon High combined for 1,200 yards last season. But this is against G5 competition. When Jeff Traylor and this team have played Power 4 teams, the Texases, even some of the other opponents, they've just struggled, unfortunately. And that's just kind of how it goes when you're playing major football in Texas, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's in-state matchup, but you have a school that's been able to really go and get their guys, and that's A&M has continued to improve. O-line improved. Marcel Reed, year over year, I think is an improvement. Best running backs in the country. Changed my mind about it. Try to. Wide receiver room got better. Casey Concepcion, Mario Craver, the wide receivers got better. Everything is better offensively in a game like this.
So I guess the real question is, what if you're an A&M fan, what would you like to see from Marcel Reed? I think a lot of people have been calling out his passing abilities. Everyone knows that they can run the ball with Ruben Owens and with Le'Veon Moss and Amari Daniels, Smith, etc. What type of game would we like to see from Marcel Reed against an opponent like this?
Yeah, you don't want to make him one-dimensional where his thing is running the ball. You got enough guys who can do that. He has the opportunity to run, which would be great. Take advantage of the receivers that you got. You paid him. You brought him in. I mean, Casey Concepcion was one of the most sought-after receivers in the portal. Coming in from NC State. A lot of teams wanted him. You got him. Use him. I want to see Marcel Reed throw the ball. I think he's in those conversations of a quarterback who is yet to be seen when it comes to throwing consistently. I don't think that's necessarily fair. That's just the label that's been put on him. Throw the ball.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think it's a fair label, right? I think A&M fans for a while have been wanting to see more of that vertical passing attack, probably since Kellen Mond. They had a little bit of a spark there with Connor Wegman a couple of years back, but we haven't seen like a prolific passer at A&M in a while, and that's kind of what's been proven to be needed in some capacity to win the SEC. So setting your sights further than just UTSA and the Roadrunners, this is a good coach. Jeff Traylor's a good coach. They're good football guys. These are probably guys that have played against each other in high school, right? Most of these guys are from Texas. Shad Banks is playing linebacker for UTSA. He used to play it. He played at A&M last year, played at TCU in 2023. There's a lot of familiarity. But this game, like for a lot of these other tune-up games in the SEC, are about the SEC opponent and what they do. Numbers aside, spread aside. What's our final prediction here in this game?
I like A&M 42-10. I think there's going to be some explosive plays, a couple breakout runs from these backs. I expect a statement game from A&M.
Yeah, I think it's a game that could potentially catapult A&M into the top 12, depending on what happens in that top 12 and just overall like what this offense looks like. If this defense looks very strong, this year they're not opening up with Notre Dame like they did last year. If this defense looks strong and this offense can put up 40-something points or 50 points and just make a statement, they could find themselves in the top 12. I got them 38-13 in this game against the Roadrunners. No shade to Jeff Traylor. He's a good coach, but this is A&M's bag. They got it this week. So if you like content like this, tune in for Hunter. I'm Randall. This is the new SEC podcast.